If you own a home in Florida, brace yourself. Your insurance bill might be one of the highest in the country.
Yeah, a new report ranks Florida just behind tornado-prone Nebraska. Dave Elias, who covers the insurance industry for the Gulf Coast, explains why premiums are soaring and how homeowners are coping.
Well, Bankrate.com just released its new home insurance data, and it shows here in the state of Florida, the average homeowner paying about $5,400 a year. That is far more than our neighbors to the north here in Georgia, where they're paying slightly less than $2,000. But check this out. Natural disaster-prone Californians paying just $1,600 a year.
I moved here from Salt Lake City.
Jovan Millet moved to Florida in 2022.
I actually bought my house right before Ian, and then it got decimated in Ian. So it took me, speaking of insurance, it took me like over 2 years to collect money from insurance to go to do anything.
Since then, his rates drastically increased.
It was affordable for me. Now it's $4,800 a year.
Slightly less than the $5,400 for the average $300,000 home in Florida.
Unfortunately, rates in Florida are still at eye-watering levels, and homeowners are increasingly becoming more and more anxious for some sort of positive catalyst that will reduce that trend.
Local agent Doug Nellens with the Insurance Center explains there are about 30 variables that determine how much you pay.
Without a doubt, the age of the home is easily the most important of that list of 30, if not the second most important. Location, of course, being at the top of the list as well.
The closer to water, the higher the rates. Cape Coral boasting 400 miles of waterways.
Insurance companies have been sounding the alarm for years that a lot of homes out there are actually underinsured, and so they would require an even bigger coverage enhancement in order to make sure that they're properly protected.
Meaning it's likely those rates will continue to rise.
The cost for reconstruction and repairs still continues to creep upwards, and so insurance companies need to increase the coverage limits associated with the policies in order to keep pace with that rising cost of construction.
Despite the construction costs, disaster-prone Californians pay just $1,400 a year.
At a glance, I am shocked to see it that low.
The state limits rate increases, many companies now refusing to write policies in risky areas, leaving many to go with the state-run insurance company, similar to Florida Citizens, which recently announced lower rates this year.
We are starting to see some moderate rate decreases. However, they continue their campaign to cast policyholders out into the private market,
leaving Jovan and others to pay more.
I can barely afford what I have now.
In Fort Myers, Dave Elias, Gulf Coast News.